Somewhere, and right now that somewhere is right here. Welcome, I am Janae Burris.
And I'm Jake Browne. Welcome to the Cannabist Show. We talk all things weed. It's good to be back in Colorado. How are you, Janae?
I'm fantastic. Of course, as usual.
Yeah, just per usual.
Per use, here with some bigger hair this week. Which is a dangerous move in the middle of the summer.
I'm doing, this is my desert beard from being out in the middle of the wilderness.
It looks so post-apocalyptic.
Doesn't it? I've got a
lovely.
little neck beard in there.
Yeah.
It's real gross.
You're a grown man right now.
Look at me, I'm all grown up. What's new in your world?
What's new in my world?
Okay. Same here.
Nothing's new. Just living, just managing the beat. Oh, I was talking about. Wanting to talk about my hair lady, but who wants to hear about my hair lady on a weed show? I do. There should be weed in these salons because it's kind of painful to get your hair braided. And I'm like, there should be some new market for some kind of like hair grease or something, cannabis-related hair grease.
Cannabis-related hair grease. That seems, that would work, right?
Like the same thing you do with the topical CBD type of stuff. I was just there, and it's very painful to get your hair braided. And I'm like, somebody could be making so much money with some sort of oil sheen product. But once again, I'm asking black people to get involved in the weed industry, and it is kind of weird right now getting involved. So
my barber is like obsessed with being able to have like people just smoking blunts in his chair while he cuts hair, because he's like third generation. His grandfather would always just have like old guys with cigars that come around. It was very much like that barber shop atmosphere, and so he's like, I just want that, but with blunts.
Oh yeah, I mean, well, in my neighborhood, a lot of people were cutting hair in their garages, and there was a lot of smoke signals going up. So that's how you do it. That sounds just about right to me. I love that idea. All right, in our nation's capital, arrests for the use of marijuana in public have tripled within the last year. That's right, arrests for smoking weed.
Ooh.
America is currently trying to have its cake and eat it too, making millions in taxes from the sale of marijuana, but then, gotcha, no smoking the weed we just sold you. Unfortunately, arrests for the distribution of pot have also tripled, okay? So didn't we already learn in Colorado, also part of America, that if you legalize the sale of marijuana and make it accessible, that part is very important, okay? Make it accessible. The black market all but disappears completely, save a few backpack entrepreneurs selling to 18-year-olds. This problem has a very simple solution, DC. Okay, advocates are critical of the arrests, saying that they disproportionately affect people of color and the economically disadvantaged. Oh, really? You don't say. Hey there, hi, I'm Janae Burris. Nice to meet you. Welcome to Post-Reconstruction America, disproportionately imprisoning colored folks since 1865. Enjoy your stay. Adam Ettinger, the head of an advocacy group which lobbied for legalized marijuana, DCMJ, was arrested twice in April, and he points out that the right to smoke marijuana could only be enjoyed by private property owners. That's like a really good point that he's making there. Oh yeah, that old American trick, you guys remember? I got a song here, Jake, you ready?
Yes.
Me. My country supposedly sweet land of inequality, of the ice cream land where my father was murdered because redlining kept him relegated to an underserved and dangerous neighborhood, land of way too much pride, from every mountainside let us smoke weed.
Yeah.
Changed it. It was God Save the Queen. That was just my take on God Save the Queen, you guys. That was not America.
God Save the Cream as well.
God Save the Cream. God Save the Cream.
That's crazy. I mean, because here we are in Denver. We are 3 years after voters approved recreational marijuana. We're just starting to figure out where people can smoke pot that's not private property.
Yeah, that seems like something that should have been solved at the same time? I don't know. People.
Why aren't they just writing this into the laws?
Yeah, it seems like just a setup to get you kind of more reasons to put people in jail for smoking weed. You know, just
barbershop only laws. Let's start there. It's just if you can get a haircut, you can smoke a blunt, and then that's
I like
it.
that. Start with barbershop.
So sorry, bald people. You're gonna have to get straight razor shaves from here on out.
All right.
And that's a bummer. Moving to California, where they're looking to clean up when recreational marijuana goes legal in 2018. But one government official was literally cleaning up when he found weed and a lot of it. Mike Classens, city councilman from La Crescenta. Yep.
Beautiful Spanish.
Thank you. I've been practicing. Que bueno. Was doing cleanup on the 210 when he found 15 pounds of weed, noting it, quote, emitted a really strong odor. That's impressive for whoever grew it, because what he found was really trim. It's like you found a message in a bottle, but it was just a free week of premium LinkedIn. You're like, oh, awesome, thanks. It's a sign of the times, though, that Lieutenant Mark Slater says they'd probably charge the person with illegal dumping. Dumping, but didn't mention anything about that dumping of 15 pounds of weed. Now, if you'd like to claim the bags, you can reach the LA County Sheriff's Office at 323-820-6700. And as a bonus, you'll be featured on the Cannabis Dumbest Criminals list.
Oh, nice. Who amongst us doesn't appreciate a bit of discretion? Shh, don't answer that. Okay. INDVR endeavors to offer a solution for those of you who Google under the incognito tab with their femme-faced focused lipstick and mascara vape pens. Ooh la la, ladies. Now you can smoke pretty. It's almost like vaping like a spy. A lady spy, though. And while the female vaping population currently making up the majority of new consumers, according to an ongoing study by BDS Analytics, may appreciate the effort of vape pens designed with her in mind, what she really wants is a vape pen that works well.
Amen.
Okay, Jake, you know I'm all for all things lady focused, but damn it, it better be good, okay? We're making 77 cents on the dollar, gentlemen. 77 cents. 73 cents for African American women. Don't F with our money unless you come correct, son. Check out the website, The Cannabist, for thoughtful reviews on the lipstick and mascara vape pen by the Cannabist's own Lindsay Bartlett.
Yeah, congrats, Lindsay. I was excited to see her first piece up.
Yeah.
I've known Lindsay for a while, and it was like a really thoughtful review.
Yeah,
sometimes
it's a great angle on that.
Like vaporizers are hard. It's like a vaporizer is kind of a vaporizer, is another vaporizer, where to come from, what's the element. But here I was like, oh, what an interesting talk about feminism and vaporizers and where they intersect.
Yeah, it was very thoughtful because I saw that, but then she delved into it deeper, and I'm like, oh yeah, wait a minute. Yeah, it's trying to make me like we don't need to have it in a lipstick case. That's almost too...
It's a little on the nose, right?
A little on the nose.
It's like if they made me like a beef jerky shaped vape pen. People are like, why do you just have a stick of beef jerky in your pocket? And I'm like, you don't know me very well. All right. If you live in the city that never sleeps, you may have an easier time finding a medical professional that can help you get some rest. Doctors, nurse practitioners, and physicians' assistants across the state of New York are now able to register online and certify patients the very same day. May not be as easy as becoming an ordained minister, to marry your hippie friends, but the state needed more docs after adding chronic pain to their list of qualifying conditions back in March. They saw a 34% increase in patients, so it was a big one. I mean, anytime you add chronic pain, it seems like there's a huge uptick. Let's get some physicians in there. There's also a bill to add PTSD to that list, and that's headed to Governor Cuomo's desk. So it's good to see one of the most restricted programs in the country loosen up a little bit. Good on you, New York.
Nice. It's a good idea.
I'm excited it was such a weird program. At first they were like, there's no smokable marijuana. You have to have one of like a very, very small number of conditions. I don't know. If you're in New York and you're out there trying the weed, let us know what's going on. I don't really know anybody who's a patient out there. It's weird because it's usually like a new state comes on and everybody's like, oh yeah, I got the weed now.
Yeah, I only know recreational users, which is not legal. Okay, I don't know anybody in New York who smokes weed. I take it back. I don't know anybody in New York who smokes weed. Okay, all right. Nevada's out of weed. Nevada's out of weed. Okay, then so that's why I read that story and I was just like, I panicked just at the headline of it. And Nevada's not necessarily out of weed, not completely just yet, but running on fumes according to the Associated Press. I'm so scared. I'm really scared, guys. I've still got a couple weeks before I meet my family in Vegas, and there's no way I can do it without my medicine. All right, don't play with me, Nevada. All right. Hell hath no fury like a way too sober me. Stephanie Klapstein of the Nevada Tax Department says retailers reported that since legalization, they have gotten twice as much business as they expected and fear their shelves will be empty by August. Okay, that's right around the corner. A ballot measure approved by voters in November decrees that licensed alcohol wholesalers have the exclusive rights to pot distribution licenses for 18 months. Yes, you'd have to currently be in the liquor business to get into the legal marijuana business. That's kind of tough. Does this even make sense, Nevada? Marijuana has the potential to compete with and possibly replace alcohol for adults looking for a little enhanced recreational experience. So it makes absolute sense that none of the alcohol wholesalers have completed the licensing process. Why should they, right? They're not going to help marijuana in running them out of business. How frustrating for us tourists, though, who are really looking forward to finding the perfect recreational balance of wine and weed. All right, there's some light at the end of the tunnel, though. The governor has announced his endorsement of emergency regulations to facilitate the issuing of distribution licenses, all right?
Which is always a good sign, like when you're a week into your launch and you're like, emergency rule.
Oh my gosh. Well, at least they're doing it, though. You know, all's not lost just yet, but an emergency just a weekend is like it was great that they got the weed on the shelves so fast.
Sure.
That was really great.
They went breakneck.
But it's like they didn't think past a week. I don't think they had no clue how badly people want this stuff.
And I will say, some of that Vegas weed already has made its way into California, where I saw some last weekend.
You saw it?
Oh yeah, I smoked some Vegas weed.
Okay,
I was pretty impressed. Good work, Vegas.
Really?
I don't want to indict anybody. I can't indict anybody. But yeah, it was pretty impressive.
Okay.
But you know, you gotta have more than, they were like, oh yeah, we got a few months supply, and then all of a sudden it's like, we have a few days supply.
Right.
They underestimated how much
Do you think
people
people
want to smoke.
started going in oh my, hearing the word about it kind of running out and going in and maybe making multiple purchases, kind of stocking up at home?
If I lived in Las Vegas, I would be like, yes. But give me all of the chips, please.
I would be doing that. Oh man, for sure, I'd have a stockpile.
Yeah.
I hope I have a friend in Vegas who has a stockpile, please God.
Yeah, who do we know in Vegas? If you're a dispensary in Vegas, reach out to the show. Let us know. Janae's going to be headed your way. Let's make something happen. A big story that caught my eye this week, Janae, is the state of Colorado's schools. Now, especially when we talk about these new states that are coming online, we hear about all of the tax revenue that's going to help with various programs here in Colorado. It was construction programs, and the Denver Post's own Monty Whaley took a deep dive look at how those funds are actually being used in the state. Now, the $147 million that was ejected into the Building Excellent Schools Today, or BEST program, is no laughing matter, and there hasn't been a single school district that has turned down the funds. Surprise! It's like an extra chocolate milk at lunch. You just say, yes, thank you. But one study put the amount of money that's needed in capital construction at $18 billion through 2018 in the state. So while weed taxes are doing a small part, it's also like trying to pay your rent with the change you take into Coinstar. Wow. And you're like, all right, how much is this going to be? Like 20, 25? Yeah. So it's fine to be proud of the revenue that we're generating. We buy a pre-roll here in Colorado. We also need to be realistic about the amount of good that it can do and the terrible shape of our schools in Colorado. $18 billion, and we're like, well, we chipped in $147 million.
I've been hearing all of this, the goodness of the grants that all the schools are getting, you know,
and it's mostly rural schools too, which I mean need the most help.
And I was hoping that California would also start to feel that goodness of the tax revenue, because California schools are some of the worst, one of the richest. Anyway, some of the worst schools. So I was really hoping that for them. So this is kind of disheartening to hear, because that's just a drop in the bucket, really.
Totally, and I mean that's what you know, people that oppose cannabis, you know, legalization always point to is they go,
Right.
you're generating a little tax revenue. It's cute. So go out and buy more weed, people.
Buy more weed, but not in Nevada. Take it easy, Nevada. Slow down.
For more on all of these stories, visit us online at thecannabist.co. Now, from a tinier, more serious desk, let's head to Loveland, Colorado, and meet Riley, a dog whose owner, Astana, is giving her CBD in a first-of-its-kind double-blind research study at the Colorado State University's Veterinary Teaching Hospital. Let's go meet Riley.
Can you say hi to everyone? You like the Marcos? Yeah.
We're figuring out the room.
You see that down there? We'll go get that. Ready? Come see. Come on, come on, come on. Come in. Come in. Not even close. We're too fast.
These are, as far as I know, the first placebo-controlled, double-blinded clinical trials using a CBD product in dogs.
Our product, they do test it, and it's less than 0.3% THC, so it's actually not anything psychoactive.
Originally, honestly, it was via clients and referring veterinarians that would call in asking questions about using it in their own animals or using it in clients' animals, and what do we know about it? Do we know if it's safe? Do we know if it works?
There's a ton of people who have contacted us trying to get information on dosing and what we're using. Unfortunately, because we're still in the clinical trial stages, we certainly can't say anything for sure. That's not what we're testing for right now. Right now, we're really just looking at the efficacy of everything, of whether or not it even is going to work.
We decided to look at the safety and toxicity as well as the pharmacokinetic side of the drug. And a lot of clients were either dosing their own animals with their own edibles or other products that they were receiving for their own ailments, and that, as you can imagine, is not safe at all. We expect to enroll all of our dogs and have completed the actual study within that 2-year range. This is a whole plant extract, and so it is strain specific. So it may be a little bit hard to take the results of this study and assume that any product that has CBD in it is going to do the same thing.